Hi, how are you today? We're going to talk about a concept in real estate that most consumers don't know about, and the concept is called buying a listing. So, it's very common for a lot of sellers to call multiple real estate agents before they list their house, and that's definitely a good idea, definitely something you should do. But most times when I go out on listing appointments, people are more interested in what I think their house is worth than just about any other piece of the job that I can provide. And, we're pricing experts, so at some level I understand that. But the problem is sometimes they think about that price to the exclusion of everything else, and that's not a great idea. I mean, at the end of the day, there are some sellers that are very tempted to list with whoever gives them the highest price, right? I mean, I think the thinking is something like, well, this person likes my house the best. Well, if the agent likes your house the best, that only matters if they're going to buy it, which they usually aren't. Okay? What you really need is realistic market pricing. You need to understand how your house fits into the market. I mean, my experience with most sellers is what they really want is the truth. The good, the bad, and the ugly. They just want the truth. They want the information so that they can deal with it and process it. Okay? And so you should be aware that there's a number of agents out there that understand that some sellers are very focused on what that price might be. And because of that, they do what's called buying a listing, which means they go in there and they tell the seller that their house is worth a lot more than it probably is. So you have a couple of agents in, one says it's worth 600, another one says it's worth 615. A lot of times experienced agents will be quite close with their numbers. They're using the same data set. That's usually why. And if they have experience, they know how to read it. And then someone will come in there and they'll say, well, I think I can get you 660. That's a lot more than 600. And they probably know that they can't get you 660. And that's why it's called buying a listing, because they use the price that they're offering to get you to sign the contract. Listen, it's not a great tactic. I wish listing agents would not do it, but I'm doing this video because I'm seeing that it's on the rise. I'm seeing more listing agents, I think, going in there and trying to buy listings and then worrying about it later. And the way that they worry about it later is after 2 weeks, they call you up and they say, hey, the price is too high, you need to cut. And most of the time, after 2 weeks, sellers are like, I'm not ready to cut the price. So they're not happy about that. It's only been 2 weeks. They should wait. But the listing agent knows that ultimately they've got to get the price down. So, I mean, we might you might say that maybe they gave you an unlikely price, but I mean, if they know that they're selling you a price that's not likely to sell the house, and they're not really doing that without your participation in that process, then it's just buying the listing, and it's not really what you want. So you need to be very cautious of that, and that's really all I wanted to go over in this video was this concept of what buying a listing is, and just because I'm seeing more of it out there. So if you have multiple listing agents out there and they give you a price that you probably know is too good to be true, it probably is, right? So if you want accurate pricing, make sure that you are interviewing multiple realtors. Most of them will give you, the right price where it will fit in the market, or at least it'll be close enough. And if you're not sure if you're getting it, reach out to me, because that's really all I do. So I really, I tend to be very accurate with my pricing, and I can really help you narrow in on where that house is going to sell. And a lot of times sellers need to know that because they're trying to figure out what funds they're going to have left over from the transaction. So if you do want accurate pricing, that's the way to figure it out. All right, have a good day.